Hello, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and welcome to the latest episode of your Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. With me, your host, Pittsburgh Owen, speaking to you here in the UK. Guys, remember, if you like the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, if you love the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so you don't miss out on any fresh, new Steelers content. Remember, this channel is run by Steelers fans for you, the Pittsburgh Steelers fan. It is not run by fans of the teams. It is run solely by people who love the black and gold, who bleed black and gold, who love to research, to read about, to find out about, and bring their passion about the Pittsburgh Steelers to you, the Pittsburgh Steelers fans. So hit that subscribe button. Come and join the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate family. Today I'm asking, is Omar Khan done with adding to the Pittsburgh Steelers roster? Omar Khan, his time as GM, has been very proactive in adding to the Steelers roster. He has wanted to, I think, add his own personal stamp to that 90-man roster to get the Pittsburgh Steelers into a position where they are going to compete not only for the AFC North Division title, but in the playoffs and even possibly for that 7th Lombardi. He has signed Larry Ogunjobi, which is, I don't think Colbert would have done. I think Colbert may have just left it with the depth that we had, seeing it as enough depth at that defensive line position. But Khan went out, was proactive, and signed Ogunjobi. I think also Khan is wanting to prove that he's not just this money man, this calculator brain that everyone thinks he is, that he does have a good knowledge of scouting and of players. And I think that is another thing that perhaps makes me think that Khan is not yet done adding to this roster. At the time of recording, the Pittsburgh Steelers have around about $15.1 million in cap space after the signings of Ogunjobi and after Kenny Pickett signed his rookie deal the other day. Now, if we look at the offensive depth chart, there are two positions obviously of concern still, I think, for a number of Steelers fans. That is running back 2 and obviously offensive tackle. Now, I think in terms of the offensive tackle, there are a number of options out there, like, for example, Eric Fisher, formerly of the Kansas City Chiefs, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts. He is someone the Steelers could bring veteran leadership and veteran presence on that offensive line. He could be played at left tackle. Dan Moore could even move to right tackle, which many feel is his more natural position. Chooks would then be your swing tackle, giving the offensive line a much more solid look about it. Another position that obviously has been talked about at great depth is running back 2, because there's felt as a need to really spell Najee, that we can't keep working and running Najee into the ground like we have been in that first season. 381 carries is a lot of carries in your rookie season. Now, I know Najee loves being on the field. I know Najee wants to be on the field at all times, but realistically, we've got to save him from himself. There are possibilities out there, because I just think that Benny Snell, I've seen nothing from Benny Snell in the time he's been with the Steelers that impresses me, that he could be an actual running back 2. He can't find gaps. He has very poor peripheral vision. He does not cut well. He has not got a change of pace. He's just not that player. McFarland has been inconsistently inconsistent all the time, and again has more than likely been a healthy scratch on a number of occasions. Yes, McFarland and Snell do contribute to the special teams, but that is not a reason to keep them on the 53-man roster. Matteo Durant is someone who could come in, perhaps the kid from Duke, and do a reasonable job. But I think there are two veterans out there that could easily come in and fit in and do a decent job. One is Jordan Howard, formerly of the Chicago Bears, and actually played with Mitch Trubisky, and obviously the Philadelphia Eagles as well, and one season in Miami. Jordan Howard has had some pretty decent times in Chicago when he worked with Trubisky. 2,000-yard seasons. 935-yard season, good touchdown production in those seasons. If you look at his overall career, though, 71 games played, 1,018 attempts, 4,361 yards, 4.3 yards average, and 37 touchdowns. A pretty decent return from a veteran running back. So he is someone I think could come in, add to that running back room, and be quite happy with 5 to 10 carries a game and spell Najee, and wouldn't represent too much of a step back from Najee Harris. I'm not saying he's in the same class as Najee Harris, but he wouldn't be a huge step back like Benny Snell is. Another possibility is Justin Jackson, formerly of the LA Chargers. Both these guys are free agents, so would not require any trade draft capital to be given away to acquire them. It will be just a case of negotiating a salary, a team-friendly deal, which I'm sure Omar Khan could do. Plus, Justin Jackson is used to being a backup running back. He's the backup to Austin Eckler, after all. In his 4 seasons in LA, he played 43 games. He had 206 attempts. He rushed for over 1,000 yards, 5 yards per carry average, which is pretty decent. 4 touchdowns. His long was 75. Only 1 fumble as well in his time there. So he's another possibility that could come in, I think, and really strengthen that running back room. So Howard or Jackson, what do you think? Pittsburgh Steelers Nation, what do you think out there, Steeler fans? Let me know in the comments below. Another area is on the defense. If you look at the defensive depth chart, now I think the defensive line looks a lot stronger now that Larry Ogunjobi's there. I don't think he will play as nose tackle. I think he'll take Wormley's spot, and Alo will move into nose tackle. This was taken from ESPN. I think one area we really could do with addressing, that's been talked about a lot in Steeler Nation, is the cornerback area. Whilst we have a Keller Witherspoon, Levi Wallace, and Cam Sutton, who are good, solid corners, we have the backups to them: Justin Lane, Carlos Patel, James Pierre, Lyndon Stevens. None of them there really inspire any confidence. Justin Lane is not really improving, has really gone backwards this time, the Steelers. Just James Pierre had a very poor second half to last season and ended up getting benched. Now, there is one possible free agent out there that I could sign. I know people like mentioned AJ Bouye, but he's 30 years old. That would be a very un-Steelers-like thing to do. There are other corners as well who are over 30, but they, again, will be a very un-Steelers-like thing to do. One player I've seen linked with the Steelers and mentioned is Kevin King, formerly of the Green Bay Packers. King is 6'3", 200 pounds, has 9.5-inch hands. As we all know, hand size, very important in the NFL. One thing about King, though, one downside to King, his injury has dogged his career a little bit. But when he is fit, his production is quite good. If you look at his 2019 season there, he played in 15 games. He started 14 of them. He had 5 interceptions. He had 15 passes defensed, 1 forced fumble. He had 66 combined tackles, which broke down as 56 solo, 10 assisted, 3 tackles for a loss, and a QB hit. Pretty decent overall. Last year, he had a season that was affected by injury, where he only actually played in 10 games. He started 6 of them when he 1 interception, 3 passes defensed, 29 combined tackles, 21 solos, and 8 assisted. His overall career figures there: 51 games played, 42 started, 7 interceptions, 30 passes defense, 2 forced fumbles. In total, 197 combined tackles, which breaks down as 158 solo, 39 assisted, 5 tackles for a loss, and 3 QB hits. King, if he was brought in, if the Steelers could keep him fit, would be someone I think would be a decent addition to that cornerback room and would add some real depth there. I've got real high hopes for Levi Wallace this season. I think Levi Wallace could well become our cornerback 1. Without actually going out and trading for someone and spending draft capital we really haven't got for next season, we've only got 6 picks after all. I don't think we can bring in anyone else in who is going to be a stronger cornerback. Plus, also, the salary could be prohibitive, given the fact that 15.1 million will only go so far when you're trying to save 4 or 5 million for emergencies during the season. So overall, no, I don't think Omar Khan is done adding to the roster. I think offensive tackle, I think running back, and I also think that cornerback could be positions that he may seek to address in the last few months before the season starts, and especially in the run-in now to training camp in Latrobe at St. Vincent College. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Khan's done? Is he going to add anybody else to the roster? And if he is, who would you like to see added to the roster? And what position and why? Guys, remember, this Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate channel is your channel. It's a channel made by us, Steeler fans, for you, the Steelers fan in Steeler Nation. So hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any Steeler content. So guys, let's finish this as we always do. Here we go, Steelers. Come on!